but you've got to be able to find that balance.
All your muscles are not going to wither up and die if you take one day of rest.
I feel like lesbians in particular can be super codependent.
Yes.
And feet.
Oh my god.
For all you guys out there.
Perfect. Nailed it.
All right.
Whoa.
So my shirt just fell down. Starting off strong.
Nipples.
Yes. Welcome back.
Welcome back, strawberries.
Welcome back.
This is Professional Yappers, podcast about fitness, friendship, food,
Fun.
family,
Feelings.
and
Fucking.
feet.
And feet.
Oh my god.
For all you guys out
I love it. Oh my god. Okay, so I want to start with, we had a party. And by we, I mean me, but it's kind of we.
It's our annual summer soiree.
We're kind of a unit, if you couldn't tell. But,
Ooh, that was
that was a loud one.
Now I feel like I have to crack my neck. I caught your crack.
So we had people from the gym.
Mm-hmm.
We had, like, your individual friends, my individual friends. We had family members.
Mm-hmm.
Maria's individual friends?
Yeah, my girlfriend's friends from school. And I think it went super well.
Loved it. I thought it was a great
We had my ex-fiance.
Dude, which I love him.
Yeah.
He was really fun. I'm really glad he made it.
I could talk to him for all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he stayed over. He came in from Florida, and he stayed over, and it, like, absolutely torched our routine.
Mm-mm-mm.
So that was last weekend. And then the weekend before that, I went to my family's summer house on the lake. And that obviously torched our routine too. And so I wanted to talk about, like, how summer can, like, totally fuck up your routines with fun stuff, like, in a good way, and how there needs to be some sort of balance, some sort of allowance for, like, I don't know, I remember the other day when you were like, yeah, I stayed up till 1 a.m. and I was like, you don't do that, but you have to let yourself live. And summer's the freaking time.
Yeah.
I think that it's easy to, when you're, like, really into wellness and health, to be like, this is what I do, and it almost makes you anxious when you veer off of that, but then you realize, like, you're doing yourself a disservice by not letting yourself go and, you know, have fun. Like, that's really what life is all about, but you've got to be able to find that balance.
Yeah. I very much like that my life has a rhythm with the seasons. Very slow in the winter when the kids are in school, and I have a lot of time to myself to focus on internal work. Yeah. And then summer, busy season. Go, 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 go. But the nice thing is, it's dark at 6 p.m. in the winter, and you can just go within, and it's sunny until, like, 9, 10 o'clock at night in the summer. Yeah. So it makes it easier to stay up much later when you don't get that darkness until much later.
Yeah. I'm noticing my sleep has been slightly affected by it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed when it's light out. Yeah. And sometimes I'm not, but in the wintertime, I'll go to bed at 8, 8:30, and it's like, it feels right. It feels natural.
Like, thank God it's 8 already, because it's been dark since 4 p.m.
Yeah.
In, like, the deep winter.
In the summer, you're like, you get home from work, if it's 5, and you're like, I feel like I still have a whole day.
Yeah. And also in the morning, like, it's dark when we would go to the gym in the winter time. You're like, oh, I gotta drag myself out in the dark and then in the cold. Yeah. Now it's sunny so early. Yeah. Like, it's easy to get up early in the morning.
Yeah. But, like, every weekend, I feel like I have something going on, and it's been hard to, like, carve out and say no. Like, this Sunday, like, today, this is the only thing that I have planned in. Yeah. I was like, I just can't keep up the momentum, even though it is, like, light out and everything. It's...
You still gotta recover.
It can be exhausting, and I think, like... Oh, I had a thought when you were saying something, I don't remember, but, about, like, sometimes it's healthier to let yourself do the fun thing. I was at my parents' pool on Friday, which like, the weekend's just been going for so long now.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, like, tightening it up, like, leaning out, being our best selves, because I'm going to Australia in August, and I want to look freaking bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And Maria was like, well, you're probably going to have to, like, stop drinking completely. And I'm like, you know what? I think having, like, an Aperol spritz or two by the pool with my parents and my girlfriend is gonna be better for me than, like, drinking a seltzer and being fucking bitter, because I know we've talked about alcohol and that kind of thing on here before, but I think in the summer it's just particularly relevant to, like, allow within boundaries that you know are healthy.
Yeah, here's what I used to do, and it would really, well, a couple things. I've been really leaning into, like, instead of tightening it up with my food, because I eat, like, I naturally just eat healthy because I've been doing it for so long, to now where it's like, okay, instead of am I eating healthy every minute of every day, how do I feel, and am I letting myself, like, my nervous system be calm and, like, do things that are fun. So I guess the way I'm approaching health, I feel like this year a lot more, is how do I feel internally, like, mentally, and that usually, like, correlates with how I look. Even if I'm, like, drinking, which, you know, or gardening a little bit more, that's usually where I, like, splurge. It's worth it if I'm happier. Yeah. And I think before I would get to the point where I'd be, like, irritable and pissed if I knew I had plans, because I was like, I'm going to eat bad and I'm going to be drinking, and it's like, well, now you're just missing the whole point of life, and you're making yourself miserable. So it's like, I think deep down that's actually bad for your physical appearance as well. Like,
I think it's definitely bad for your mental and emotional body if you're just, like, too disciplined. Like, have the fucking ice cream. Yeah. It's summer. You're gonna be okay. Yeah. You know, it's the same thing as, like, take the day of rest. All your muscles are not gonna wither up and die if you take one day of rest. You're not gonna gain 600 pounds if you have ice cream. That's what my
brain be thinking sometimes. You
know? And, like, with the whole PMOS thing that I'm really diving into right now, from a biological standpoint, we ourselves need that rest, and like, we are actually going to just cause more inflammation, and we're going to struggle even more if we're freaking out about it. So it's like, it really is the right call to just give yourself the rest, let yourself have the fucking brownie or whatever. You're going to look better and you're going to feel better.
Yeah, just don't go crazy.
Yeah, that's
know when you've had enough.
And I think we have all become better at that kind of mindset over the last 2 years, because we've gotten into a rhythm where, like, with food and fitness, we know what feels good, and we know that it does feel better to eat this way and, like, work out this way for the 80% of the time.
Yeah, you feel it lighter and easier in your body when you eat right.
Yeah, like, you need the rest day. Also, regarding rest days, you're not going to remember in a week that you took a rest day, and it's going to be so much more beneficial. As I always think that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to remember this, and now I have to make up for this. It's like, you're not going to remember it.
And again, like, going back to rest, our body needs it. Yeah. Like, that is actually what you should be doing.
Yeah, I saw a thing that showed that when we're awake, our brain cells are, like, so active that they're tightly compact, and when we go to sleep, they, like, separate, and there's a bunch of space between them, and then, like, a fluid comes and, like, cleans all the gunk out from the day. So there's a reason why you're in a fog when you've been awake too long, and it's because you haven't had a chance to, like, cleanse your brain cells. They've been too tightly compacted for too long, and they need, only when you sleep do they release and cleanse.
That's what's been huge for my, like, cycle coming back is sleep. And because your body, like, it cleans itself,
it cleans and repairs,
regenerates overnight, and then like not eating too late has also been really helpful for me, because if your body is like focused on digesting the food all night, then it's not going to be focused on like actually repairing. So when you're eating at 8:00, you're like basically throwing a surprise party for your body when it's trying to like wind down.
That's why I always eat my biggest meal in the middle of the day. Like I'm pretty much done eating by like 4 or 5 o'clock for the day.
Yeah, that's what I've been like pivoting to. The other day, what was it, Friday or Saturday? I was like, well, I'm hungry right now, and we were gonna go do those plants, and so I'm like, it's 3. I'm just gonna eat dinner now, and like, it was a little early, but
and like if you need to have a little
snack later,
that's what we've been doing too. Like, as soon as we're done with work, pretty much, it's like, let's eat dinner, and then we go on a walk, as you see us walking by every night. We have such a superiority complex for going on a walk after dinner, I will say. We're like,
that's the way to do it.
We are so good.
Yeah.
But we've been, like, trying to expand our repertoire. I keep saying we, and it feels so weird. Me and Maria, my girlfriend, who's moving in next month.
Oh, yeah.
And she was
like,
on the podcast.
She's not already moved in. I guess she's not technically moved in.
Yeah. But we've been trying to, like, expand the range of things we eat while staying within, like, what we know we need to do to meet our goals. And I think it's so interesting that we all work very differently, because when it comes to eating and that kind of structure, because you are like, you go with the seasons, you do your like hot
everything
food,
is very seasonal. No cold food in the winter, no cold food in the winter ever, especially for breakfast. Summertime, all the fruits and vegetables, lots of salads, whatever's in season.
I would
when
say
you
that's
said butternut squash, I would never eat a butternut squash except for in winter. That's a winter
because it is
food.
like a wintry food. Yeah.
But I do a lot of soups and stews, and I love butternut squash soup in the winter time. So yeah, I am very seasonal with how I eat.
Yeah, and I feel like you've been eating like, well, this is my perception. I don't know if it's true. You've been on the same like kick of things for like a while, because you know it works.
Yeah, you repeat meals a lot.
I repeat the footprint a lot.
Yeah, like the basic ingredients.
I will buy a ton of vegetables that I personally like carrots, celery, peppers. Like, those are kind of the 3 that I like now, onions. And then I basically say, okay, I'm gonna like make vegetables, make a protein, and make a carb, and however that works out is how it works out.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because that's what I used to do before she started living here and cooking all the time, because that's like the easiest way for my brain to process nutrition. But she likes to make like a whole, like a dish or a meal. And that is personally exhausting for me. Some people it's like fulfilling to cook. And
I like doing that on the like Friday, Saturday nights is when I'm like, let's do something fun. That's kind of like when I like to do that.
Yeah, but it's been fun to see how we can push our routine in our meals, and like even just the grocery list, like figuring out how we can optimize. Big optimizers.
Yeah.
Like, let's not let anything go bad. Let's stay in our budget. Let's stay in our macros, but let's eat something completely different this week.
Yeah, and I think it comes back to like kind of being intentional about planning, being like, okay, you know, this week I know I need 5 meals, so those can look different. And Maria enjoys cooking, so it works for you guys. But I also think you almost sometimes need to go, like, maybe you don't need to, but I feel like a lot of times in nutrition and wellness and people that kind of get there, it's like they go very intense and they know what works for them, and then once you know what works for you, then you can be like, okay, I can make pizza, but maybe I could make like a cottage cheese crust pizza. So like you can have fun with your meals without it. I was doing that a lot I guess a few summers ago, where I'd be like, okay, I want to like change it up. And I remember making this, it was like a ground, what was it? It was like nuts, cauliflower, and you baked it, and then it was kind of like a ground beef. Like, that's what it kind of tasted like. So it was just different, but it
Yeah.
was super fun.
It was
and
texturally close to ground
right,
beef.
and then
Yeah.
the way you season it, like, I think that's actually when I was trying to implement more of, like, the vegan diet to get more vegetables in, but, yeah, I mean, there's so many, eating healthy is fun.
Yeah.
It is, and
rewarding.
I have
Yeah.
this weird thing where I can't eat the same protein twice. I don't want it twice in a row. So my meals, when I plan my weekly meals, it's like I'm gonna have one chicken, one beef, one pork, one fish. Like I will like plan out this protein first, and then whatever to accompany it, because I want to have a constant rotation of protein. So I'm not eating the same thing. I don't want to eat ground chicken and then eat grilled chicken 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I'm okay to make, like, a thing of ground turkey or whatever, and then eat that for, like, a few meals. But then there definitely comes a point where I'm like, okay, I'm over this.
I'm
like,
not
let's
really into
move on.
leftovers that much either.
So
Yeah.
I tried,
I
try
can
to
do
avoid
leftovers,
it,
but that's basically because I'm like, there's only me.
you're just one girl.
Yeah, I'm just one person too, but
Yeah.
I have a lot of animals, so I'm like, here guys,
Have some scrambled eggs, bird.
we are all eating dinner together
Yeah.
tonight.
That is actually, I've been doing that. Like, well, I'm not going to eat the rest of this. Penny.
Yeah,
And they're like, yes.
Ranger's like,
yeah. I need to expand everyone's palates so that they're not just stuck on the same thing, so we can get a wide variety of nutrients.
yeah.
What was your other topic that you
Oh.
wanted to bring up?
So I was getting my eyebrows done, and I was talking to my eyebrow girl, and I know she would be totally in support of me talking about this, but we were kind of talking about, we both we're kind of the same thing. Like, she was in a relationship, and her partner was very codependent, and they broke up, and she's seeing someone else, and he is what I would say emotionally mature, and, like, realizes that she's in a position right now where she needs to focus on herself, and told her that, like, let's not be exclusive yet because you need to focus on yourself.
What a man.
And that, but it kind of was like, she took it as rejection. And I was like, talking to her, and I'm like, I totally get that, because when you're in and I wouldn't say I was in an unhealthy relationship, but when you're in a relationship that maybe isn't, like, emotionally mature, it's usually, like, there's a lot of people pleasing, there's a lot of codependency, and so then when you hear someone say something like, no, we're not going to commit to this yet because you need to work on you, it is easy to be like, oh,
Yeah.
like, so you don't want to be with me? And it's easy to just, like, go and be like, well, what's wrong with me? And then your confidence suffers, and then you just start spiraling. And, it was just interesting because I'm noticing a little bit of that, where I feel like I've grown so much, but then every once in a while things just pop back up where I'm like, oh my God, that's like something that Kristen would have done years ago. And I don't think that it's a sign that you're not, growing. I actually think, because I was telling her, I'm like, well, you're aware of it. Like, that's literally half the battle, is just to be like, oh, yeah, my codependent tendencies are seeping back in. Like, why is that? And what is...
2 reasons. Number 1, it's to remind you that the work is never done.
Right.
And number 2, it's to remind you of how much work you've already done.
Yeah.
Because it always makes you glance back at, oh, this is how I used to react, and I did it again. It's letting you know, well, you don't always react like that, and now you're aware of it.
Yeah. And that's exactly how we kind of ended it, because I was like, listen, dude, you are not alone. Like, I feel like this still. And she's like, I am actually surprised by that, because just seeing, like, your Instagram, I would think that you're, like, totally cool being alone, and, like, you prefer it. And I'm like, I do.
Right.
But there are definitely times, and I would say, like, more than I would like, that I'm like, oh, I'm just alone, and, like, no one's coming to hang out with me, and you start to almost, like, throw yourself a pity party, and then that's when you have to be like, wait, I love this. Like, this is when I can do things that fill me up.
Yeah.
But then you end up not doing the things that fill you up because you're throwing yourself a fucking pity party.
Yeah, you're fixated on, like, what you don't have instead of what you do
right
have.
And then you're wasting that time that's precious, like not being in the present moment.
Yeah.
Also, taking care of yourself is hard. Sometimes you want to be like, somebody come take care of me.
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
But then you think about, well, then I'm beholden to somebody taking
And
care of
that's
me.
that
I don't want that.
Yeah. Like, we need to be okay with ourselves, and then that, when we have those relationships that we can lean on, it's like, should be an addition that is great, but not required, I guess.
Right.
That's kind of where I feel like I am right now. Like, I know I mentioned this last time, but I'm in the, like, learning to live with someone and to be... I feel like lesbians in particular can be super codependent.
Yes.
I don't know if you know that, but that's kind of a stereotype.
Yeah.
And Maria and I, like, pride ourselves. We're like, we have our own lives, our own friends, our own interests, and we're good at separating ourselves even when we're, like, both just in the house doing stuff, without it being like, oh, you don't want to hang out with me, or... But we're also good at recognizing, like, when things come up from past relationships, like tendencies that pop back up, where it's like, I need some reassurance. I'm like, are you sick of me? Do you not like hanging out with me? Or she'll be like, are you sure you love me? I'm like, I don't want to have to say that because it doesn't feel good. I'm like, of course I do. Like, but we always catch ourselves, and she's like, that's not something that I actually am thinking. It's just like it's an old pattern.
Yeah. And again, going back to, like, the work is never done.
It's
got to continue to, you've got to be intentional about, like, okay, we're in this relationship, but how do we stay in this relationship without losing ourselves? Because I am very, like, I have a history of, when I get into a relationship, it's like me and that person, and then I, like, don't hang out with my family as much, don't hang out with friends as much, because I just want to be with that person. And it's like, well, then you're going to end up in 5 years being like, well, now I want friends and I want my family around, but I've kind of, like, shut them out. And it's so easy to do if you're not intentional about it.
Yeah.
I think as air signs also, we have a tendency to... We just go back and forth between the extremes. Extreme solitude and then extreme socialness, you know? And
you both do that.
We're very fixed. We like, And
I just sit in the middle and cry. That's the Pisces.
But you know
Water
what?
sign.
I think is kind of helps me when I'm feeling those codependent patterns come back up, is like, okay, if someone comes to me and they're like, I want to hang out with my friends tonight, like, you're not going to come, whatever, and you get a little hurt. Think about if you were them. Like, okay, if I wanted to go hang out with my friends tonight, should they be hurt because I just want to go hang out with my friends? Or would I look at it like, oh, I still have a ton of love for them and I still want to be around them, but, like, I just need balance. So if you can kind of look at it from, like, if you were the person that was setting that boundary, would you be, you know...
upset with them.
Yeah, and then it's easier to not, your mind doesn't go and wander and be like, why don't they want to hang out with me? Am I, do they not love me as much or whatever?
Yeah.
Also, that's, like, the perfect time to be like, oh, this is a mirror. Like, when he was like, I think you should work on yourself, and she was like, well, what's wrong with me? It's like, whoa, time out. The moment you say that, that's when you know you need to look at what's going on. Yep. Why are you feeling this way? Why do you think you're being attacked because somebody said something very grown up?
And you know what? I think, and that's what we talked about, is, like, what happened in your life that makes you feel like you are, like, scared to be alone. And we both grew up, because I feel the feelings she was feeling, I feel a lot, where it's like, I like to be alone, but sometimes it brings up this, like, discomfort in me. And I really think it goes back to childhood, and when, like, my mom was great, like, from birth to probably 10, 11, like, she was such a great mom. And then when my parents got divorced, she, like, became a different person and kind of disappeared. And I think that I felt like a little bit abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I would never have thought that. But when I go back and try and do the work on myself, and I'm like, where are these feelings coming from? Like, why do I default to this? It's usually something like that. But then if you can be like, okay, not everyone's going to leave you. Like, can you be okay just on your own without anyone else?
Yeah, that's that whole detachment thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like I've felt that way with friendship because I'm like having a revelation right now because I had that like great friends and then turn on me and be shitty or I left the school or something and then went to a new school, made great friends, then they turned on me and be shitty, and then I left the school, and then went to high school. And so I think when we started being friends, I was like,
you just assume it's going to go south. You're like, when is this going to end?
Yeah, there's an expiration date and I'm headed right towards it.
Yeah,
I was like, enjoy it while you can. And so when there were moments where you both knew like, oh, I just want to do something on my own, or like, I'm
I
busy
just need alone
this
time.
weekend. Yeah. I would be like, this is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
And now, going back to codependency, like that word, I don't even think about that, like, in the same way at all, because I know you're in it for the long haul, but... Like,
but we've also had conversations about it, which I think is helpful.
Yeah, where it's not personal, and it's not, like, you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes.
After a while, you've learned how to feel safe in this friendship.
Yeah, I do feel safe.
And I think that it takes a long time for relationships to get there, especially for women who have had some kind of like abandonment trauma or whatever in the past. It's like, I need to feel safe in this relationship, but it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
I have that more in friendship than in romantic relationships.
Yeah, I have it more in romantic for sure. But you know what I think is also interesting and where we can almost like sabotage is when we start to get those feelings and we don't catch ourselves, that's when we start to act a certain way to where then we lead that person to be like, what is going on?
Like self-fulfilling prophecy when you start to make it happen.
It goes back to like your perception is your reality and you're creating that reality with your perception, because if you're like, no one loves me and no one wants to be around me, then you're going to start acting that way, and then people are going to sense that, and then your actions are now going to create negative actions from them. So and I like hesitate to say that because, you know, I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm going to ruin my life if I, you know, have these issues. And it's like, no, you just need to be aware of it and and communicate it. Like, be like, hey, because we've had those conversations where it's like, I feel this way, and we're like, we feel this way, and like all it is it just needs to be a conversation. But both parties have to be like compassionate and understanding.
You don't have you don't have a different perception of your own until somebody gives it to you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just going to come up with a different perspective all by yourself.
Because you look at what's happened
in
the past, and you just assume this happened in the past, so it's probably going to happen again. And
that's that. I mean, the whole thing of like perception, you can't control other people's perception, has been such a huge part of like coming to terms with being okay with trying and being seen. And I know we've talked about that before too, but I mean, at this point the podcast is just like an ongoing conversation that evolves of how we're feeling about things. But I've realized a lot lately with clients and with social media is that like you can't control other people's perception of you because their perception is informed by their past. And it's like you're only seeing this little bit of me, and your whole life is going, oh, I know what I know, and this reminds me of this thing,
right?
And that's how I'm going to interpret it. And like having a third person perspective on your issues and stuff can really bring, I don't know, out like a new way of approaching something. Just because they don't have all the context that you do. So it's kind of the opposite. It's like, I'm having this problem. Like when I suggested to my client that she work out after work, and she was like, I never even considered
Yeah.
that. I'm like, because you think of after work as like how it's been your whole life.
Yeah.
Here's a new idea.
But you also have to, like, it's going to be uncomfortable at first. Like, even eating earlier in the day, for me, I'm like, okay, I had this, like, routine of at, like, 6:30 kind of romanticizing making dinner, but then I'm, like, not eating until later. And then when I wanted to transition to eating earlier, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to, like, completely rearrange my schedule. And one of the things is, like, I like to go to yoga, and I've come to find that going to yoga at night is not, it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah, you have been going in the morning.
Yeah, because it's like, when I get off of work, I want to be able to eat and, like, be done. And if I have to go to yoga at this time, then it, like, throws off my schedule. And I kind of, like, gave myself a hard time for not going. And then I was like, why am I giving myself such a hard time for this? Like, just, you know that this isn't working for you. And you can just say, that's okay. I'll go in the mornings when I can.
Yeah.
But also, going back to, sorry, really quick, the being seen thing, a lot of times when we are, it's always a mirror. Like, if we're like, oh, this person might be judging us and, like,
It's like you're
whatever.
judging yourself.
It's like, well, why do you feel that way? Probably because you are
Right. Why do you
judging
care what
yourself.
somebody that you've never met or will never meet
is thinking.
thinks? Yeah.
Maybe
it's,
thinking.
It's probably because
maybe
you
thinking.
might agree with them.
Right.
Deep down.
Is there some truth to that?
Yeah.
That you need to figure out, where is this coming from? I even
Deep. I feel like Kat is gonna roast us. By the way, I don't know. I was like, we gotta grab those.
Do we?
was
We're not
one-
using the camera, so
one
we don't
quick
have
note.
to reset the film.
I forgot about that. That's why I was like, we set the 20-minute timer.
Yeah,
I was like,
we didn't
we don't
even
have to
do
use the
that.
camera.
One quick note that I think I've been thinking about a lot lately, because I definitely had some, like, imposter syndrome with my coaching, and thinking that, like, okay, people that I'm working with probably think, like, oh, she doesn't actually know what she's doing. And the other day I was like, okay, take everything out. I just have more experience, and I obviously know more than whoever I'm coaching because I've done it. And they can look at me and be like, okay, they're living out where I want to be. So that alone is saying, like, that I should have enough confidence just with that alone. Like, I am where you want to be. Let me show you how to get there.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't need to, like, know some magic thing. I
Yeah.
mean, you do know the magic thing.
And that's
why,
the thing. That's where it's like, Kristen, you do know what you're doing, and that's why it's working. And it's just funny. And I had that talk with my boss, Don, the other day, and he is someone, like, all of his kids went to college. He went to college. Like, he's very much believes in, you know, further education. And I would have thought that he would have, like, been very stern about that. But he was like, you know what? Nowadays, like, all my kids went to college and I went to college, but I look at people now and I'm like, if you want to do something and you know a lot about it because you're, like, into it, that's really all you need. And hearing that come from him, someone that I think would never say that, was like, it's like I needed to hear.
Encouraging.
Yeah.
Also, if you look at it from a standpoint of not like, I'm trying to get this person from here to all the way over here, but you're like, I'm trying to get them from where they are to where I am. Like, just from here to here.
Yeah.
Not from here to here.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It might make it a little bit less intimidating.
Right. But I think it comes back to just, like, believe in yourself. Because you have you have everything you need. You just have to believe that you do. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, interesting. This is very interesting.
I know what mine's about.
I don't know what mine's about, but I'm very happy you start.
I got fork in the road, which I'm like, I kind of know what it's about. I think it's about, I'm very much, like, having this feeling that my career path is going to change a lot over the next, like, year. And I had that conversation with Don, and I just am kind of I feel like I'm at the fork, I guess, with that, where I'm like, okay,
the decisions I made
I believe
today.
in myself now, so now I'm doing it, and it's kind of like
splitting
become
off
official.
from where you think you were gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like
The
I don't
energy's
know.
moving.
That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, I guess I know a couple other things.
Yeah.
I want to read it though.
Yeah.
People in my family keep dying, and I haven't processed it. I have orphaned. I have a memorial for Yaya next weekend, and I went over to my parents' house on Friday and like saw all this stuff, and I like have not processed at all, and my sister hasn't either. Even the deaths that happened like last summer and more recently, like this spring in the winter, everything. Like sometimes we get together and we like have some prosecco, and she's like, "Can you fucking believe they're dead?"
I
Like
know.
Your
can you
sister?
fucking, yeah. And I'm like,
And how fast it
no.
was, like all of them.
And that we know that this is just the beginning of this and the rest of our family, and we're so lucky to have such a big family that we love so many members of, but it's hard that this is beginning.
Loss is inevitable, and it's like you're seeing that.
And I just think
out.
I did like a reading for my mom when I was over there on Friday, and I'll tell you guys about it because it was wild. I was like, you might not know interpretation right away, but I can read you from the book. I pulled the card, and she immediately was like, "That's all I need. That's all. That was the sign that confirms it." And I was like, "Yeah." Wow. But I think I just need to let myself like be sad and not just keep doing it's for the better for them and they were suffering and like all that stuff. I think I need to just let myself be like, God damn it.
Yeah, you gotta grieve too.
Yeah, just like be present in whatever emotion you need to feel.
Yeah, like seeing Papa show up alone at Summer Soiree, I was like, this is wrong.
But also like how cool that he came.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool that
very
he
fun.
came. And I had that moment where I saw him hug Maria, and I was like, trying
Yeah.
not to cry. I was like, oh my
Maria
gosh.
loves him. It's great.
I got poised.
Ooh, I love that. I love getting that card. You're
a
just
good
like,
one.
fuck yeah, I am.
You're like, I am ready for whatever comes my way. I'm in a
I
good
love the
position.
image on it.
Yeah, little fairy on a pedestal.
Just like
48, is it?
Yeah.
48, yeah.
What do you think it means, or you don't know yet?
Well, I think, so I knew that the kids were getting out of school. My busy season was about to begin. I had the new wildlife baby to take care of. There was a lot of things going on, and I had just been like really focused on mentally preparing myself for what was about to come.
Yeah, you were like, I know what I need to do.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get schedules, I gotta get routine, I gotta get everything done. And now I've had my first week, and now it's like that initial Band-Aid is ripped off, and now it's like I'm ready. Like I've done all the prep work, and I'm ready for it to just... I think that's what it means.
Well, that's funny. It's like being ready, bringing something to light, being at your best confidence. But that just goes to show, and I think we need to remember this in our day-to-day. Like, we know what we need to do, and if we just do it the day-to-day, like, I know that I just need to focus on now and do it. It's so nice to see it work out.
Yeah.
And you're, like, it's working out for you.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Clover's on a good schedule. The kids are, like, you knew what you needed to do to prepare.
And you made
the
it
kids
happen.
are so excited to have me back. We had such a good first week. Yeah. No, it's all going
great.
well.
Well, that was fun.
Yes.
I love spending Sunday mornings with you guys
I know.
and Monday mornings with you guys.
It's such a beautiful day, too.
Yeah, and yesterday's rain was so
It was
cleansing.
so needed.
And
It
so
was not
perfect.
cleansing at
Oh,
Pride.
you were at, I was
but,
actually thinking about you. I'm like, oh, I hope it didn't, like, it only rained for a little bit.
Yeah,
but-
it was when we were in the drink line, and we're like, if this keeps up, like, we're gonna be so pissed. But then we went out of the drink line, and the drag queens started coming out on stage, and the North Coast Gay Men's Choir came out, and it was a good party.
And then the sun came right
and the
back
sun
out.
was out too, and everyone was like, praise.
Oh,
It was great.
I was sitting on my porch just drinking coffee, watching my flowers soak it up, and I just felt like that meme, like, we needed this.
Yes. I was like, I don't have to water my plants today, thank God. Even though I do like doing that now, but so
everything just smelled so clean and felt so clean afterwards.
I planted all my zinnia seeds. Did I tell you this?
No.
I planted my zinnia
This is the
seeds.
last thing we should wrap up.
And, sorry. And fucking Penny like 5 minutes later, digs up part of it. And I'm like, you little fucking bitch. And so I plant them. I do it again. I'm like, all right, I've got a little bit more. She did it again, like literally right after. So I'm like, I don't even know what it's gonna look like because I just.
It's gonna be like
they're not in rows. They're just everywhere.
Yeah, it's gonna be like zinnias and then dirt. I'm like, so TBD on how those come.
Yeah. All right. Love you guys.
Love
like
you.
and subscribe.
Yeah.
Ah.
Perfect. Nailed it.